This week's scenario will see the continue of the Oblivion campaign for our Skorne and Retribution players as they advance on to the second prologue game, Rising Tensions. This scenario does not have killbox and has several special rules to them. The first one being the continuing rule of Moonless Night from the first scenario. All models have their line of sight reduced to 12 inches. There's also now a rule, Sneak Past. If a defender model is in contact with the attacker's table edge at the start of its activation, the defender can remove the model from the table and declare that it has escaped the battle. A surprise attack also means that defender model lose advanced deploy and ambush. Victory conditions consist of a player immediately wins if they control the only models in play, or the defender managed to get 3 of its models off of the table edge.
Hey everybody, this is Gaston, and today we're playing the Oblivion campaign as Retribution of Scyrah. In keeping with the narrative portion of the campaign, my Invictors are diminished from their losses last time, and so they're now a min unit. However, they have been joined by a max unit of Infiltrators that they found in the forest. And the hope is that these rapid moving stealth elves are going to help me track down these nefarious Skorne that are trying to run away like the actual cowards that they are. Nobody likes cowards. We're going to take care of this problem, elf style.
Alright, this time I decided to take a lesson from the last game, and I decided to bring 2 units. Well, 3 if you count the Tyrant Commander in Standard, and then also a solo, the Gobber Tinker. The Gobber Tinker is basically there because, well, I had the 2 extra points to play with, so I figured that would be the best option to put in. So my thought process is, stay away from him and just go for the scenario win, which is to get 3 models off the table edge.
So getting to go first is very fantastic in this. It lets me just crank up the board as quickly as I can. I'm a little bit sad that I lose the reform and a couple other advantages from the UA, but I'm hoping that the speed 7 on the Infiltrators will help offset this. One of the other things when I'm trying to do my list design is I was trying to slip in kind of like a solo, because you can see as you're looking at the terrain we have kind of 3 different paths that they can take. So my goal here is to do sort of a refused flank. I've got my speed 7 guys, they're coming up around the top, and they're going to close that off against the Swordsmen. Conversely, I'm going to have my Invictors, and what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to come down around and cover that middle area with their guns, and hopefully that'll give me some attrition.
Alright, this turn's going to be pretty simple. Most first turns, everything's going to run. I'm going to try to stay as far away as I can from that max unit at the top of the screen, because, well, they have knives and they're dangerous, so pretty much I'm running away from them. So the Gobber Tinker starts, he runs furthest forward, then the Tyrant Commander goes next, and he gives press forward to the Keltarii. I'm sorry, not the Keltarii. He gives it to the Swordsmen, because the Keltarii already speed 7 base, so having them run up their full distance is pretty good. And that way, with the speed boost on the Swordsmen, I'm able to have them cut a good hard corner and hopefully stay away from the models.
So one of the things that my opponent very wisely did is he added some Keltarii into his army. And they're going to be pretty difficult for me to shoot down. They have, I believe it's called Blade Shield, off the top of my head. And then what he's doing is he's using the terrain, he's kind of trying to hide, and you can see now that we've funneled him down into this narrow channel, and that's where he's going to be running to try to escape me. So I'm going to continue with my refused flank. I'm just going to do this little pincher maneuver here, and just bring these Infiltrators around. And then we're going to bring up the Invictors, and they're going to try to start taking their pot shots. We're going to use some Scyrah to try to overcome that Blade Shield and see if we can't ping off a couple of the Keltarii early on. One of the initial goals with this is I want to get them down to less than a 3-man unit, at which point he has to use a Swordsman to score, or he's got to do some awkward things because we are dealing with units. Otherwise, my big target is that Tyrant Commander. He's speeding his models up. I don't like him speeding his models up, so we're going to take care of that. As it is, we're doing kind of like little 2-man CRAs. Unfortunately, the Invictors just aren't that fast. They don't have the many feet, and I mean, with the stealth rules, or quote-unquote stealth line-of-sight rules of this scenario, the mini feet doesn't help them all that much. So I think they're able to get maybe 2 Keltarii in range line of sight. they're going to pick off at least one of them, and so we're gonna, take what I can get.
All right, turn 2. Now I'm trying to figure out, can I get the Keltarii into engaging the guns and hopefully get my swordsmen around the outside and out of harm's way. So the plan is to have the Keltarii charge. Locking down the guns, hopefully taking some of them out, doing what I can, hopefully utilizing the reposition 3 at the end of the turn for those that didn't run or fail a charge, to get further into his lines to help kind of hold them up and allow the swordsmen the opportunity to get around that little building and hopefully win by the victory conditions or the scenario conditions. So they all end up, they end up running. Those that can charge, other ones end up running. And then I make my swings. As you can tell from the way this battlefield is looking, we are not going to use a lot of that top part of the screen because he's already rounded the corner with those, infiltrators. And he is hot on my trail. So now I get to do the movements, and now they're done. So now it's a matter of trying to figure out how do I lock down those infiltrators. So I take the Tyrant Commander standard. I give them the run charge order. Before that, I give the swordsman the press forward order, and then I have my standard actually charge into one of the infiltrators. Of course, I don't hit him, but he's now locked into combat. And now the swordsmen start, and they run as far as they can. And let's hope that that's far enough to get them out of harm's way. Now the next thing to go is the Gobber Tinker. It's like, okay, do I let him go into where the guns are, or do I use him to help tie up the infiltrators? To be honest, I think the infiltrators are a better option, mostly because of the fact that they're faster, and I've already got a good portion of the gunner guys, don't know what their names are, locked down. So he charges in to the one, locking down the two of them. Doesn't manage to hit anything. He's only a map 4, so it doesn't really help much.
It's kind of funny, as the game is shifting down towards the bottom corner, the camera's having to shift down there as well just to keep all the models in frame. So thank you with your patience on that. It's actually kind of funny and really weird to be going into the tank a little bit on a game where you have this few of models, but having units instead of solos is really making a noticeable impact on my activation order. So what we're starting out with is we're going with these Invictors. They're going to try to pick off a couple of, I think they are Keltarii, and that will free up a couple of their buddies to shoot. My big goal this turn, you see that Tyrant Commander there? We're going to try to get him. So then you have the Swordsmen coming down. They're kind of the easier targets. So the Invictors go, they're able to chase down a little bit of Keltarii. And then we have the one, I think he's swinging over the house and misses. And then they go ahead and I think they put, a couple points of damage onto the Tycom. He's got 8 wounds off the top of my head, I believe. So they're not going to kill him. But the one thing that's really interesting is I do have one Infiltrator in charge range. The downside of that is due to the advanced maneuvers positioning I did here, that one Infiltrator is my unit leader. So I gotta run him all the way up and kind of run everybody all the way up, or else they're going to end up out of formation, and that's really bad and annoying for me. So awkward, to say the least. So they're, for the most part, it's a lot of wasted activations here because they're not going to be able to get good swings onto the Standard Bearer. They're not going to be able to get good swings onto the chef or whatever that goblin dude is, the repair wagon guy. But my hope is that with Gang, I am going to be able to take down that Tyrant Commander. That'll take away his speed buffing, and that'll help me out a significant amount here. So they're going to go through, they're going to swing, they're going to do awesome. Good job, guys. I'm very happy, very proud of them right now. Unfortunately, they make up for it by missing the Standard Bearer, so now we just kind of have this weird out-of-formation mess.
Okay, my hope for this turn was to have the Tyrant Commander issue press forward one more time to get those Swordsmen almost to the edge of the table, because that would have probably done it for them, because they were fast enough, you know, with the being speed 8, they should have been able to get to the edge of the table, outrun his guys, and hopefully get me to start my turn on the board edge. Unfortunately, Gaston took him out, so that's really kind of unfortunate for my plans now. So now I have to re-look at my plan here. So my plan has changed because I have 3 Keltarii left. So the plan now is to have the Keltarii, who run the fastest out of the 2 units, actually make a beeline for the board edge, and have the Swordsmen turn around and go into whatever is there to help hopefully tie them up some. Because if they can't charge or run past me, then hopefully that'll be good enough to get me a victory here. So I start with the standard that's still left over there. He didn't die from the charge, but he made his swing, completely missed. So he's standing there next to the other guy. And then the Gobber Tinker, he is actually free to move away due to the fact that those guys that are engaging with him are not in formation. They're not. They don't give free strikes. So, going back to the Swordsmen. Swordsmen are all facing the wrong direction to actually run or charge into those infiltrator guys. So I had to turn around and walk them. So they, luckily for me, everybody was close enough that I could actually turn around and walk them into combat, leaving a couple out of combat with the hope that I could have them as a secondary wave to kind of block off any of the infiltrators that decided they just wanted to go and kill off the last of the Keltarii. So I was able to kill off a couple guys there, to include the Soulless. I'm now taking the Gobber Tinker, and because, like I said, he didn't have to worry about free strikes from those 2 guys. I had him move up to the behind on the backside of the those gun guys, and he once again didn't hit anything, but now he's blocking them in from the backside.
So killing the Tyrant Commander bought me some time, which is a good thing, but now he's jamming me up pretty good with the Standard Bearer, with the remaining Swordsmen, and with this annoying little Gobber thing. And so I've got to be able to clear out all these guys and then get within range so that the next turn I can shoot the Keltarii with some CRAs off the back of the table. And that's unfortunately going to be a little bit harder to do than it is to say, because I have so many of the infiltrators are out of formation, so they're just going to be kind of losing this turn, which is a little bit unfortunate for me, but I made the active decision when I went ahead and tried to kill the Tycom. I think that was an okay trade-off at the time. But this isn't, again, where I was talking about earlier, where I was regretting not having a solo, kind of that third piece. This is where it would have been nice to have a sweeper, keep like a Mage Hunter in the backfield, so they can just kind of charge on in and take care of something out in the back. But c'est la vie. So we're going to play the hand that we're dealt, and we're just going to try to kill a bunch of dudes. And so far, relatively successful at it. Take up a couple of Swordsmen, and we're going to try to work on this Gobber Tinker. There we go, Tinkerer. And he's now Tinkerer dead, which, big thumbs up. But unfortunately, one of the Swordsmen had survived, and so what I'm afraid is going to happen is I'm going to get jammed a second time, which is super duper annoying. So now, with the Infiltrators out of the way, I've got to figure out what I want to do with my Invictors. My options are here. I can either run them, where I can shoot them. Again, I'm worried about getting kind of a swordsman to the face, so I'm playing conservative with them. And you can't see where the Keltarii are, but they are pretty close to the table edge at this point. I think I have basically one more turn to try to get to them, and I'm being retrospectively too conservative here. I needed to be more aggressive when I'm coming up, and what I was afraid of doing is having a swordsman kind of charge down the side of that building. What I am trying to do, though, is I'm trying to position it so that I have a lot of gaps within my models. So if he does run a swordsman around and kind of jam me up a little bit, I can take an infiltrator, move through my own guys, and kill him off, and then my own guys have this ability to move. So I'm trying to proactively space a turn ahead of time.
Okay, the swordsmen did what they were supposed to do last turn. They were able to hold them up. The Keltarii, as you can tell, just got to the board edge. So all I have to do is hope to last for the remainder of this turn, and hopefully not have any of those guys back there die. Luckily for me, it is still a knight rule of where you can only see 12 inches, and his guns are only 10 inches long, so I'm pretty sure I'm outside of that. The swordsmen that are in there are probably going to end up doing, well, not probably, but they are going to end up charging to, yeah, this is where I measure to see if those guys with the guns can actually reach me. So end up activating the swordsmen. They take the order to charge, and I end up charging one of the guys with the guns, and then my leader goes in charging one of the infiltrators, and then I think my last guy is actually facing the complete wrong way, so he just has to, oh, no, he actually could see him. And then, of course, the Tyrant command, the standard, came around, swung on that guy, did nothing. So there was that. Then the rest of the swordsmen ended up rolling, and I think I managed to take out one of them. But the one to the far left, as you can tell, is still standing there with my swordsman. I think that they just wanted to play patty cake over on that one side, because they didn't really do a whole lot. So hopefully, as long as everything goes well, I should be able to get those 3 Keltarii off the table on my next turn.
So as you can see here, I'm paying the price for not pre-measuring. My Invictors are just woefully out of range in order to be able to clip that one last Keltarii to deny him his 3 models. So in that case, we're just going to get a little bit of revenge here, and we're going to go in and we're going to try to kill as many models as we can, because screw Skorne. They are legitimately awful people. And elves, I mean, look at those jawlines. You know that these are the good guys. I mean, they got the cleft chin and the superhero physique. So we're just going to go ahead, we're going to take care of all these swordsmen, and we're just going to rock it with these infiltrators here. Show them the power of gang. Show them the power of not needing gang. It's going to be glorious. In fact, it's so glorious 2 of the swordsmen survived. No, just 1. So this is, I think, very illustrative of when you're playing through Company of Iron, when you're playing through some of the early Oblivion scenarios, that sometimes it's not, like a normal game of Warmachine, it's killing gets you there a lot of the time. In this case, it's actually a lot of positioning and a lot of consequences of that positioning. So even though I was way ahead on attrition, it just so happens that I lost the positioning battle here. He was able to get those models there. But thank you all for watching. I hope it was a fun game and illustrative for you.